After being trapped in a trunk just like this one, she was able to escape her kidnapper by pulling this latch, allowing her to open the trunk from the inside. There is still some storm damage from last year's hurricanes, but contractors are working hard to fill the gaps. Flyers like this one found in Ocean Springs neighborhoods essentially called for all white people to fight against diversity. You could probably find information from any of these books in a simple Google search, but not everyone has access to that kind of technology. That's where public libraries come in. Meat and dairy products are staples in so many people's diets, but if you do want to make the switch, it's good to know your options. Proper first aid training can make a big difference in a life or death situation. Police in Biloxi investigating a possible shooting. Here's what we know from investigators. A man showed up at the emergency room this afternoon with a gunshot wound to the hand. Despite many challenges, he's now a doctor, a husband, a father, a motivational speaker, and so much more. It's not hard to understand why he is South Mississippi strong. Now that's only a taste of what's going on, the tip of the iceberg. So make sure you download the Gulf Coast Weekend app for a full list of things to do. I'm Joyce Philippe, and I hope to see you out this weekend.
We're in battle, Patriots.
One man's words sparked national uproar when he posted this video to his Facebook page.
And we're now a Muslim-free zone.
Andy Hallinan, owner of Florida Gun Supply, says the post is in response to the killing of military personnel in Chattanooga. He states that he will not ask customers about their faith, but will instead use his own judgment to enforce his policies.
I do have the right to deny service of firearms or training to anybody that I deem as a threat, and the ATF expressly gives me that right as a federal firearms dealer.
The Council on American Islamic Relations is firing back, calling upon the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate Hallinan's actions as a civil rights violation.
And that message was that it's illegal for him to discriminate against Muslim Americans. The law is clear. Federal law is clear. You know, public accommodations should be open to everyone.
Hassan Shibli, Chief Executive Director of CARE's Florida chapter, encourages dialogue and conversation to bring the community together.
Don't be someone who's willing to write off an entire population of people. Don't let fear and prejudice drive you against your fellow American and your fellow neighbor. Come and get to know those who you don't understand.
Despite the controversy that the video has stirred, the gun shop owner states that he plans to stand strong in his beliefs and his efforts to keep the community safe. With News Channel 8, I'm Joyce Philippe. This is the fire that took down the Vigareri cigar factory, one of Tampa's historic landmarks. This is all that remains. Firefighters rushed to the scene, taking about 2 hours to keep the flames under control. The fire tore through all 3 floors of the factory before it finally collapsed the following morning. Many in the community were saddened by the loss. Local resident Al Otero lived down the street from the factory for over 21 years.
It hurt me to see it burn because I respect history, and this is what part of Tampa is.
Now, this building once stood at 27,000 square feet and was an important part of Tampa's history in the cigar industry. While there were talks about turning this building into housing, those plans went up in smoke. We met up with Eric Newman, head of the J.C. Newman Cigar Factory. He says his family did close business with the Guerreris.
They made cigars for us. We used to sell maybe 10 or 15 million cigars a year.
About 24 factories remain in Tampa, but J.C. Newman's is the last one still producing cigars.
A lot of empty cigar factories around. They're here to tell a story. Now we have one less story around in Tampa to tell the story, and that makes all of us sad.